Hey, call me Shape, and today I'm reacting to a video titled How Corn Addiction Almost Ruined My Life as a Woman. Let's get right into it.
Hello, this is a video on my experience with or how I got addicted to porn, and I'm gonna share my experience. Also, I just want to put out there, I noticed that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, I want to say that guys, um, don't realize that women can get addicted to it too, and yes, women can, okay, women can get addicted as well. So yeah, but anyways, anyone can get addicted. How about that? Okay, now let me get into how I got addicted to it as a teen. Okay, so it all started. We're gonna start with COVID. Okay, COVID happened. I was a freshman in high school, and I remember teachers, everyone was like, okay, there's gonna be like a lockdown. And I was 14 at the time, and they notified us of this like February or January of 2020. Okay, and after that lockdown, I just remember we never went back to school. We ended up having to do all our work online. So let's fast forward to sophomore year. I was 15. I ended up not going to school for my sophomore year because my family and everyone felt like it wasn't safe for us, for any of us to go to school at the time because of how severe COVID was getting. Um, so I ended up staying at home and doing online school at home. Yay! So let's just say I remember just one day I was working on an assignment and I started to have a rush. Okay, now I'm not saying my hormones didn't act up before, but let's just say at this specific time, the hormones were going crazy. Okay, and I was also bored out of my mind uh, doing the work I was doing. So, I went into a quiet place, my room, and let's just say I looked up some sites and I went into some videos. And yeah. Okay, after that day, you know, yeah, that very day just is the day that started the entire addiction right there, okay? Because after that day, it's not like I went to the videos and the next day I didn't. No, after that, the next day I did, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. I kept indulging in it because I was like, wow, wow. Oh, but little did I know, but that messed me up as a girl. And I was 15. I was only 15. And I want to just put out there, even though when I indulged in this, I was 15, I still knew about this before I was 15. I found out about this when I was super duper young. Like, a lot of us find out about this, like, when we were, like, very young. I was probably, like, 8, I think, when I first found out about it, and it was on accident, and it ruined, like, my brain. Okay, we're not gonna get deep into it, but I just remember finding out about it when I was like 8, and I was like, what is going on? What are these men doing to these women? Oh my god. And then ended up forgetting about it, but yeah, traumatized. Um, but 15, got into it, messed me up, and let's get into how. Okay, so when I first got into it, this is because it was one day. One day I was bored, hormones were kicking, got into it. Then I started to use this stuff as a coping mechanism, and that's where the problem started, okay? I was very insecure about myself. Very, 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 very.
Okay, so listen, a lot of people have corn addiction. It's no surprise. I'm just shocked that she's talking about corn, but I'm not sure if she's trying to imply masturbation. I don't know. I don't know. I heard some women are not necessarily visual. I knew one girl, she used to masturbate to audio, right? MP3s of like people, I guess ASMR, I guess. Well, not really ASMR, but like stories of people in like some kind of lustful situation. I don't know. There's an app for it. I don't know what the app is. But I think it's funny that we shame masturbation, even though it's the safest form of sex, right? And you're being safe, but you're still shamed. So let's hear what else she has to say.
Very, very insecure. I literally wished I was someone else. Like, I was at a place where I just felt very deep and down in the dumps. And it was not a good place at all. I was depressed. I felt hopeless. I didn't know what direction I was going in life. And I felt all of this at 15. Okay. And I started to use watching, porn and stuff as a way to cope with life, the struggles and stuff like that. Um, so whenever I felt like sad, I would watch it. Whenever I felt just stressed, I would watch it. Or even if I was bored, and that was really what held me back, okay? So, like, I would be working on like a math assignment. Tell me why I would go to these sites. Why? Like, even like boredom, I used these sites as a way, as an escape, to escape boredom, or, just like a quick dopamine rush, okay? And it's just like these sites really prey on vulnerable people. Like, these sites are free for a reason. Now I know that. I realize that because when I was younger, I used to ask myself, how come these sites are free? They know why, okay? And like, it's just okay. So there's something else I want to touch on, okay? Like,
Let me jump into it real quickly. Why is it free? Well, 33% of all internet traffic is corn. So that means one out of every three ads is seen on corn sites based on the traffic. That's why it's free. I also want to point out the fact that, listen, people are trying to say, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. She's giving some good reason why she watches corn. She says sadness because she's stressed or because she's bored. Well, it looks like men, we cure three problems for women: sadness, boredom, and stress. The vitamin D cures all of that. So if you get in line, you won't have to be flicking the bean. Someone can flick the bean for you. I'm just saying.
like I said, oh yeah, another big reason as to why I would get on these sites is because I was at a place where I felt I didn't feel validated. I don't know, how do I explain it? I would use it, like, I would watch these videos and I would create this illusion in my head as if I was feeling validated and loved or something like that.
Creating illusions in your head where you're being validated or loved is concerning. But you know what's even more concerning? Not having health insurance. And that's why today's video is sponsored by Ismail Stonewall. Take it from here, Ish.
Yeah, so thanks, Shape. So as we know, a lot of people are looking for health insurance right now. It's open enrollment. I offer free consultations to my clients. We work with small businesses, families, and individuals to find their best health insurance options. Now, we work with all major carriers: Aetna, Blue Cross, Cigna, and United, on their public and private networks. Typically, we save our clients about 20% on their premiums, and we get them PPO networks, which means nationwide coverage. So if anyone listening here could benefit from a consultation, maybe save some money on your insurance or find something better, hit me up, give me a call, give me a text, schedule with me, and I'll see if I can help you out. Let's go.
Yeah, so if you need health insurance or you're looking to reduce your premiums, give my buddy Ishmael a call and let him know Shape sent you.
I don't know if anyone understands what I mean, but if you understand what I mean, let me know, because it was just, it was a lot. Um, so I started to realize it was a big problem when I want to say 16. Yeah, but this is like later in 16, like I'd be turning 17 later on, like in a few more months probably, but I was 16 and I started to realize there was a problem, okay? Because of how I started to see people. And how I started to see people, I didn't really see them like as people, like as meaning like I needed to create deeper connections or something like that. Like, whenever I thought about a relationship, tell me why the first thing I thought about was getting in, like getting down. Why is it the first thing I think about? Why is getting down the first thing I think about? And that's when I started to realize there was a problem, because I started to see people differently. especially like relationships, and we shouldn't be thinking about people like that. Because I used to not think like that, and then I started thinking like this, and I'm like, why am I seeing this person as an object? No. That's when I started to see a problem because my way of thinking, it started to mess with my mental as well. Like, you know? Um, there's something else I wanted to touch on.
All right, you're ashamed that you think it's wrong for you to objectify people, and I understand, right? No one wants to be an object, but here's the reality: we are the objects of some people's fantasy, all of us, right? Unwillingly, okay. And some people are an object of our fantasy, whatever that may be. You said that when you see people now, you think about getting down. Now you know how the male brain works. This is how the male brain works. We don't say this out loud, but if I see a beautiful girl, I think about getting down. I do. Picture in my head exactly how it's happening appears in my head when you walk right by. Or when you talk to me, you be so polite. I can't help it. I didn't wire myself this way. This is the way I'm wired. And corn is actually tailored around men. The fact that we're very visual. Corn is very visual, right? That's why I keep the lights on when I'm getting down, you know? But she named another benefit of the vitamin D, validation. So let's keep score. Validation, stress, sadness, boredom. We fix a lot of problems in women's lives, and that has nothing to do with provision and protection. I found 6 valuable reasons for men, and a 7th one if we say children. So let's go through it. Validation, sadness, stress, boredom, provision, protection, children. 7 good reasons to get with men. But the world's teaching us feminism, and we believe it. So now what we're going to have? We're going to have dogs, we're going to live alone, and we're going to have corn. And that's going to be the most fun that we have. Watching other people have a good time. Imagining that we're having a good time. That's what corn is. It's fantasy. It's not like real, right? We use it like AI of sorts, right? It's kind of artificially putting us in a space where we're there and we're getting validated and we are experiencing a relief of sadness and boredom for experiences that we're not even having. We're just observing with our eyes. It's an illusion. Corn is an illusion. This video is an illusion. Okay? But don't worry about objectifying people. Everybody objectifies people for what they want. We want things in life. No one gets into a relationship unless they want something. You want something. Again, validation, boredom, stress, sadness, right? That type of thing. You want a relief for that? So we're an objective or object to get that. Okay? The difference is you're going to have to give me what I want in order to get what you want. Like, I'm giving the audience what they want. You guys want to hear about women talk about corn? I know. I've seen it in my previous videos. You guys like when women talk like this, so I'll make a video reacting to it. I'm giving you what you want, so I get what I want. What do I want? I want the microphone, so I can be able to say what I want to say and do what I want to do. But in order to do that, I got to do this for you. See? This works out. Men and women, we can work together just like I work with the audience to give people what they want. And corn is free because you're giving people free eyeballs to 33% of all advertisement on the internet. Just think about that.
Something else. Oh yeah, I would feel horrible the next morning, okay? Like, after, like, indulging in this stuff, like, literally, I don't know if anyone else, but, like, after indulging, like, the next morning, I would start to feel like a pile of crap. That's like the best way I can explain it. Like, I feel like a literal pile of crap. And I'm like, okay, this is messing with me a lot because I started to realize I also became lazier. I procrastinated so much more. And when I just felt like a little bit of pressure in my life, I would resort to watching these sites. That's not good. And I started to feel very crappy and horrible. I knew this wasn't good for me. No matter how much someone tells you, oh yeah, this benefits, blah, blah, and no, I felt like crap, and how I was as a person started to change. And I knew that wasn't good. So when I actually attempted to heal myself from this, now some of you guys, if you have watched my previous videos, you know I created a video on how to heal your mind from porn, and that is basically what I did. And I can tell you right now, it was not easy. It was not easy. Okay, like it took a lot. It took months. Like it took so long to heal myself from that. It took so long. I'm being real honest right here. The amount of times I went back to it is insane. But even when I did, relapse, I always made sure to, like congratulate myself for how long. But later on, I realized one of the problems was I started to see it as a streak, like, oh yeah, I'm this many days in, blah blah blah. I had to get out of that mindset because there could be days where you're like, you've been going at this for like over 100 days, and you're like, okay, I'll give myself, I've been going at this for this long, so I'll give myself a day. No. I had to see it. I had to change my mind. Like, and it was so hard because I used it as a coping mechanism. Literally. And it's like, once I'm like, okay, if I really want to stop this, I'm going to have to replace that with something else. Like, and that was hard. Like, I had to replace it with low dopamine things. Had to replace that high, fast dopamine rush with low dopamine. And it took time because your girl was addicted. Why was I addicted?
Okay, so look, Corn is really a placeholder in her life. Okay, she really wants a boyfriend. She wants that validation. She wants to not be bored. This is what we offer to women. Okay, and what she's explaining to you guys here, if you don't realize, is the power of women being digmatized. Okay, Cornhub had her in the chokehold, as if she was being digmatized. Okay, and this is why I prefer women who are digmatized, because they're in a euphoric state. This girl said it took her months to break the habit. That's the spell that you can cast on a woman if you have her digmatized. So I see all good and not bad. She thinks something's wrong. No, nothing's wrong, girl. Your natural biology is preparing you to mate and do the most important thing that humans have to do, which is reproduce. Because we're not just here to have fun and have a good time. I want to have fun and have a good time, but I realize that the world doesn't need us to have a good time and have fun. What they really need us to do is reproduce. Because that's what we're here. I'm only here because someone reproduced. And I got to keep reproducing to keep people here. Right? So, I understand where she's coming from. It's addictive, yeah. To be able to cure sadness, boredom, stress, and give you validation all in one, yeah, that's a powerful drug. Men, we could do that to women. Because I know a lot of men watch my channel. Some women might watch this because they see a girl on a thumbnail. But you got to realize that this is the power of relationships. And so this is why it's so sad we're forgoing relationships and we're learning how to fight with each other and not fight with the corn hubs and the websites, right? There's no issue with that. No one's beefing with Cornhub or the websites. She's trying to get not addicted, but there's no beef. But we're beefing with men and women together. We're not getting together. And someone commented before, oh, you talk about Hinge so much. You talk about you doing so well on Hinge. Yeah, because I know a lot of men don't do well on dating apps. They're not meeting girls in public. They're not meeting girls online. They're struggling with women. Why are they struggling with women? Because we have this ideology that everyone should be a man, that being a man is a standard, so everyone's trying to compete for the lifestyle as a man. And men, we're not attracted to other men unless we're part of that percentage of men that are attracted to other men. You get what I'm trying to say? But most men are not. Most men are heterosexual. And so we don't like to be with other men. So women that embody this professional, bag-getting man, it's not attractive unless she knows how to wear multiple hats. You know, if you know how to compartmentalize business from love and relationships and understand how they still have the same kind of merit to both, be my guest. Very few women could be masculine at work and feminine at home. But if you can, my hat's off to you. Problem is, you're not going to be the most feminine woman. If you're able to turn that on and off, guess what? When you turn it on, it's not as strong on the feminine side, or when you turn it on to masculine song, it's not that strong either. So you're in the middle. You're not the best out of either, but you know, that's the benefit trade-off of being with someone that's masculine and feminine. They're like, they know men, they understand men, but they don't have that same touch, that little elegance of being a woman. Here's the thing I think, though. The bigger thing is this. If she wants to make sure that she can secure something that validates her, cures her boredom, helps her out when she's stressed out, and when she's sad, then she need to learn how to cooperate with a dude, how to get along with a dude. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You know, and you're not going to feel as guilty. Listen, when she feels bad right after she does the act, which I'm assuming is masturbation, even though she never said the word masturbation, that's the same feeling women feel and men feel after the post-nut clarity. Right after I bust, now the world's clear to me exactly what I need to do and when I need to do it. This is why women like to cuddle afterwards. It's a bonding moment. So that spike in dopamine and then the minute, like the fall, right, the collapse of it, it's naturally secured with cuddling. So, get you a man that you like that you can cuddle with. I think that's pretty solid advice. She might not take it. She might still be thinking about corn, and she need to get away from corn. She realized she need to replace the corn with a man, and she'd be all right. But anyway, how about read some of the comments and we'll take this bad boy home. First comment reads, "You're pretty brave for speaking about this. It's nice to hear from a woman's perspective." Yeah, you know, it is pretty interesting hearing it, you know. Am I shocked that women are addicted to corn? Somewhat. But I did remember this time a woman said that I effed her like a sex toy. And I thought to myself, how would you know what that's like, you know? So she clearly watches corn, sex toy corn, you know, whatever. Cool. Another comment says, "Congratulations on beating that awful disease called addiction. I wish you much success." You know, humans have addictive personalities, and so the best addiction is addiction of improving, of self-improvement. That's the best addiction. Working on things that you know are going to improve yourself. So, hey, look, I got no horse in this race. I don't care if you watch corn or not. If you do, that's on you. Okay. But like I said, I think the real thing we're talking about is masturbation and pleasing yourself. And the question is, should it be allowed or should you do it? Is it wrong? Is it right? It's the safest form of X that we know. So if you want to be sexually active, you know, I would prefer to self-please myself than please somebody else. There's a lot of risk, right? I can't give myself an STI or STD, but someone else can give you one. I can't get my hand pregnant, but you can get someone else pregnant. So, something to think about. And listen, you're going to have times in your life where you're not as sexually active, and I think it's okay. You know, I think it's fine. I don't think your hands can take your virginity. I'm just saying. Anyway, all right. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.